All right, here we are in the hangar, and this is the Icon A5. This is the amphibious aircraft that we're going to be flying out on the lake. You can see it in the hangar before we're going to take off in it. It's a two-seater, high-performance little light sport vehicle. I think they're selling these things brand new, upwards of $400,000. Yeah, there's the dash, and you can see when I start off, I don't know what's where and everything, so we got to kind of learn it as we go. But it's like a car, like flying a car essentially. And unless you got $500,000 to, it also has a ballistic parachute, which is also nice. Unless you got $500,000 to just toy around with, you're not going to have one of these. But look at that beauty. Hey everybody, Tommy G here, and I was going to go through some flight training with you since Matt and I do some bush trips, and I'm going to start doing some more of these things. I decided to go through the bush flight program. Now, I know it shows here that it's 100% mastered, but I'm going to show as I went through it. So when I got here, it was 0. And just to let you know, these are the different classes for doing the bush pilot. First is a short field takeoff. Learn how to handle departing short dirt runways. And this is essentially it here. So we're flying the Icon A5 in Nonwalek, Alaska. So as you can see there, it says expand your horizons as you take to the mountains of Alaska to learn the science and art of bush flying. Getting off the ground from a gravel runway requires a modified takeoff technique, requiring us to apply full power whilst holding us still on the brakes before departing with a steep climb. So here goes.
Now it's time for something more wild and challenging than just a run-of-the-mill takeoff. Not all runways are long, flat, and clear of debris. Let's try taking to the sky from a more rugged surface. With the brakes applied, go ahead and increase power to full throttle. It's a little more difficult to keep straight during the takeoff roll on a loose surface such as gravel, as you lose some steering control. Go ahead and set full throttle.
Hold on.
This runway is shorter than one you'd find at a larger airport, so we need to modify the takeoff technique to get off the ground and climb as quickly as possible. First, apply the brakes and hold them so that we don't roll forward until we're ready to go.
Alright, brakes are on. So see, this is a nice two-seater, right? This thing's gonna be fun to fly. Okay, here we go. We gotta give it full power. Looking for 45
Excellent.
knots.
The engine instruments are all in the green. Now release the brakes and we'll get going. Rotate at 45 knots. Now smoothly raise the nose to 15 degrees.
I don't know what 15 degrees is.
Now that we're safely off the ground, go ahead and retract the landing gear.
Oh, the gear, okay.
Maintain a 15 degrees nose-up attitude to hold a climbing airspeed of 60 knots.
60 knots, okay. Right, is that...
Now retract the flaps to improve our climb rate.
Alright.
Great. Now keep on climbing straight ahead.
Yeah, we are climbing up and out. I guess you kind of take off like an aircraft carrier.
That's the short field takeoff in a nutshell.
All right, for the second installation, we do the short field landing. Get to grips with the short field landings. The way this one works, you won't find many major airports and long runways out here in the mountains, requiring precise flying and accurate speed control. Learn how to come back down to earth and stop on a dirt strip. Let's see how this goes.
Now that you've taken off from a gravel runway, let's try landing on one. For this short field landing, the terrain dictates that we need to approach at an angle. Start by deploying the landing gear and get ready for our approach. Short runways require an early touchdown and full flaps to minimize our rollout so we don't run out of runway. Next, fully extend the flaps. Great. Aim for an approach speed of 55 knots.
There's 50.
Aim close to the beginning of the runway so we have the longest roll possible, but be careful not to undershoot it. Cut the power just before touching down for a nice, smooth landing. Once we touch down, apply the brakes for a smooth landing that brings us to a stop as quickly as possible. You nailed the landing.
Hey, all
the
right.
procedure is more challenging than at a larger airport, but being able to land on short and unimproved runways like this one opens up more possibilities for your adventures.
All right, next we're doing updrafts. Learn to soar along a ridgeline by riding air currents. For this one, it says learn to take advantage of nature and soar like an eagle, riding updrafts along the mountainside. Let's go do it.
Whoa.
Mountain flying has its own set of hazards
gosh.
and requires its own set of specialized skills.
Why is this not working?
Mountainous terrain, especially at high altitude, often creates dangerous turbulence, even when conditions appear dead calm.
At least I know what my parameters
Fly
are
on the
supposed to be.
right-hand side of the valley ahead, maintaining 2,000 feet altitude and 100 knots airspeed.
I don't see what my
Air flows
VSI
over
is.
mountains like water does over rocks, conforming to the topography both on the upside and the downside. Air forced up the side of a mountain by wind creates updrafts, often unpredictable ones. Let's ride this wave of rising air and soar along these ridges like eagles. With the wind out of our left-hand side, fly just above the right side edge of the valley to ride the updraft.
Alright, I see the objectives. I'm doing it here. On the left is my airspeed indicator. I'm trying to keep that at 100, just in the yellow. On the right is my altitude. I'm keeping that at the 2,000. So I got to come off the fuel a little bit here and come down just a bit.
Now that we're flying alongside the valley wall, you'll start to feel the aircraft want to gain altitude. Maintaining altitude needs a slightly lower pitch attitude than usual. We're now ridge soaring like an eagle. Turbulence often comes with updrafts, so prepare for the going to get a little rough. Try to stay in the rising air to get a good feel for it.
Oh, I'm going too fast. Go too fast. Keeping it right at 2,000 there. I'm gonna nail this one. I'm nailing it. I'm keeping right. How am I doing, sissy? Took my eyes off it for a minute there. Got the prop behind us here.
As we reach the gap in the mountain wall on our right side, the updraft will level off and then ramp up again when we reach the other side of the gap.
I think we're doing it well. I like this aircraft. It's a fun little thing to fly. Wonder how much one of these cost, Matt. Say Matt is my friend Matt, he's a pilot guy. I don't want to lose altitude. I'll stay at Stay at 2,000.
You've gotten the hang of riding updrafts. Next, we'll train in air with downdrafts, which
Yeah.
is far more dangerous.
Finally, now we're at downdrafts. It's the fourth class in the set of classes. Experience the hazards of downdrafts. So learn to respect the forces of nature as you battle with hazardous downdrafts. Again, this is the opposite effect that we had the updrafts on the other side of the mountain. Let's see this one.
You've seen how updrafts help with lift as you soar along a ridge. Aim for 2,000 feet, this time keeping over to the left side of the valley, putting us on the downwind side of the mountains. The opposite of an updraft is a downdraft, where air spills over a mountain or ridge and descends down this backside slope. Keep over to the left side and you'll feel how you need to fight to maintain altitude.
Alright, there we are. Maintaining it. And I'm going to catch the downdraft in a minute. And then I'm going to have to gun it. Because I'm climbing.
You'll find it difficult to maintain altitude in a downdraft, so keep a high power setting and watch the altimeter and be ready to work the controls, especially the elevator. If it gets too
There it
much,
goes.
make a gentle turn to the right towards the middle of the valley. This will take you out of the downdraft.
There we go, there we go. Alright, we got it. We got away from it. I think we held it. We held it. Now I gotta get forward pressure on it. I think 2,000. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. 100 knots. Yeah, we got caught there for a minute, but we felt it. But we got through it, didn't we?
Wow, great job.
Thank you.
Now that you've experienced a downdraft, you'll know how to react the next time you encounter one while flying in the mountains.
Yeah, I'll panic. Like I did.
You'll encounter them on the downwind side of terrain, where winds blow at speeds of 10 knots and faster.
Good to know, sis.
Now in the second group of the Stongs, we're getting close. We're going to do the water takeoff. Who needs runways? They says. For this one, take to the water and unlock the door to a whole new way of flying. We're going to do full flaps, full power, lift off, climb at 60 knots, flaps up. Let's check this one out.
The Icon A5 isn't limited to hard surfaces. We can experience the glorious Alaskan landscape all the more with our water-going capabilities. To get started, let's look at a basic water takeoff. It's much more difficult to accelerate when in water, so you want to get as much lift as possible as quickly as you can. To reduce our takeoff run, we'll use full flaps. Set the flaps to their fully extended position. Alright, we have the water rudder retracted and the gear is up. Now give it full throttle to get us moving. Use the rudder to aim for the gap between the island up ahead and the shoreline. Lift the nose just a little at 50 knots to get airborne. That's it. Now reduce the flaps to 15 degrees. Now we can retract the flaps completely. Good. Keep us climbing straight ahead, aiming for about 60 knots to get the best climb rate. Fantastic. Once you nail water landings, you can really start to expand your horizons.
One more to go before the check ride is the water landing. Who knew airplanes could float? It says. For this one, being able to set down in a lake makes bush flying a hugely flexible and rewarding experience. Try your first water landing here. Coming in full flaps, the touchdown, flaps up, come to a stop. Beautiful locale. Let's do it now.
Bush flying brings a number of great do-anything, go-anywhere possibilities. We're going to land on the lake up ahead, so let's start getting ready. Bring the throttle all the way back to idle.
Did it?
Let the speed drop below 75 knots, right where the white band on the airspeed indicator begins.
Okay.
Great. Now extend the first stage of flaps.
First
Flaps
stage.
15 degrees. Now fully extend the flaps to 30 degrees. Great. Now keep the power low and aim for 50 to 60 knots.
50 to
A little
60.
movement of the water is helpful, as super calm conditions make it harder to judge our height. Now we simply come in a lot like a runway landing, keeping our speed nice and low and touching down with minimum descent rate.
All
Aim
right.
for a nice smooth touchdown in the center of the lake.
The center of the lake, huh? I mean, I'm getting closer to 60 knots than I am to 50 knots. Really nice scenery. Look at those mountains. Whoa! Yeah, I got some USB thing competing with my controls here, which pushes my nose down on occasion. It's concerning. I gotta go through all my USB stuff and figure that out. Not something you gotta worry about right now. I mean, I guess I cut the throttle. I didn't know I had a little on there. She wants me to aim in the center of the lake, but I don't want to go in too quick. Oh boy.
Once on the water, the aircraft will slow hydrodynamically. Fully retract the flaps to reduce our lift, helping us to slow down more quickly.
Got it. They're retracted. This thing's not decelerating though. There it goes, okay.
Fantastic. Water landings open up a ton
Nice.
of new
Look at
possibilities.
this. No joke, look at this location.
Next, we'll put all that you've learned to the test with the bush flying challenge.
Alright, this is the grand finale. We were waiting for the bush flying test again. Before I started all this was all blank, but your boy just gets all straight A's. Now, I had to do a couple over more than once, I think, but you get to see the good results. And again, the reason here that it's been so, the video's been not quite 100%, I just do VR flying, so I don't have my track IR and I don't have higher resolution, so I'm sorry about that. But flying the stuff in VR is insane, and if you can, it's hard to go back. It really is awesome. So let's do the bush flying test. Test your mountain flying abilities. Here we go. Put what you learned to the test as you embark upon a short flight through the Alaskan valleys and mountainsides. Take off at Nunwilek, right there on the water. Climb on out, over around here, fly to Dogfish Bay. We're gonna do a little loop around to check it out, and then come back in this way. Let's check this one out.
Now that we've been through the basics, let's put your bush flying skills to the test. We're going to take a short trip through the mountains to Dogfish Bay. Get set up for a water takeoff. Great. Now get us airborne.
Alright, here goes. Hold on to your lunch.
Now Bring in the flaps and keep us climbing to an altitude of 1,500 feet.
Crap. Maintain 60 knots. Maintain 60 knots for 1,500 feet. Get the throttle pushed all the way in. I need to climb fast for going through 1,000 for 1,500. Some turbulence, that's okay. Right.
Maintain an altitude of 1,500 feet and head over to the valley up ahead.
Gotta get down to 1,500 feet and 100 knots. Pardon me. Pushing forward on the controls here. Get down to 1,500.
Turn to the right here and maneuver through the valley.
Okay.
The wind is now coming from our left, so decide which side of the valley to fly over to avoid downdrafts.
Whoa. I am not too close to that side there. Exit the valley.
Dogfish Bay is just ahead. When bush flying, it is always wise to do a flyover of the landing site first to check the conditions of the strip. Start a gradual descent, and we'll fly past the runway to take a look. The runway looks good to me. Reduce speed to under 75 knots and descend to under 1,000 feet to prepare for approach. Take the first stage of flaps. Flaps 15 degrees. This landing will be on a short grass runway. Lower the landing gear. Extend the landing gear. Finally, take full flaps and perform a short field landing.
Alright, there's there's the airfield. So I want to come in at what did it say? 55 knots, I think it said. Sorry, I don't actually see the runway. I don't see the runway. I mean, it says Dogfish Bay, but where the heck is the runway? I saw it when I flew over it. Through the trees here? Okay, it's through the trees here. I'm at the wrong angle. Alright, and then I'm going to get down, I'm going to get the brakes on, and I'm going to reduce the flaps. That's why I didn't see it, I was at an angle. So I'm drawing in there. It's an odd place to put an airstrip.
Flaps full for this landing.
Oh.
Well done. Now you can proceed with confidence in your new abilities.
But she said
With these newly acquired skills,
full, but it's on the ground.
you can explore some of the globe's most remote, little-seen corners. You needed to use flaps full for the short field landing.